Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760 with Healing with Hypnosis. A half hour to help ordinary, everyday people with ordinary, everyday problems using individual hypnotic techniques. Call with your questions on the Crowne Plaza call-in line. 865-888-TALK. Now, certified consulting hypnotist David Welch from Knoxville Family Hypnosis with Healing with Hypnosis from the FMT Insurance Studios of Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760.
This is Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760 coming to you from the FMT Insurance Studios. Welcome to Healing with Hypnosis. I'm David Welch from Knoxville Family Hypnosis, and I'm an expert at helping you release fear and pain. I'm certified through the National Guild of Hypnotists as a certified consulting hypnotist. I'm certified through the American Alliance of Hypnosis as an advanced hypnotherapist. I'm certified in pain and advanced pain management through the American School of Hypnosis International. When you're a hypnotist, you wind up working quite a bit with friends and family and stuff like that. You would think right offhand that would be an easy client for you. They trust you. They know you. You've already got a rapport built. The fact of the matter is that if you came to see me, when you come into my office, I'm an expert and I'm an authority. You've paid me money, so you've made a little bit of a buy-in. You've made a financial commitment to getting well. If I see a friend or somebody in my family, unfortunately, I'm not the authority. They're not coming to see the hypnotist. They're coming to see somebody that they know. Very rarely would a friend or somebody in my family have to make a financial buy-in. I would very rarely pay them. And on the flip side of that is when you're working with people that are close to you, sometime in the therapeutic relationship, you have the risk of making them very, very vulnerable. You can find out about things that they may not want you to find out about. Sometimes in the way that we work, we find the basic drivers, your underlying desires in life, and we use that as a motivation to help you. When you find out these things of people, you have to be very, very careful. It can be really, really delicate. If I take you and I use the deepest things that drive you, and your concerns and your desires, that can help you a great deal. It can be a great motivator if used correctly. It can also take somebody and make them hate you forever if you misuse that or mishandle it. That's why it's so dangerous working with family, friends, close relatives. In my case, my spouse. It's almost like working with a bomb. You have to be really, really careful. Now, that said, my guest today is my wife, who I've worked with quite a bit with hypnosis. And I'm going to have her come online and tell us a little bit about what she thought about the hypnosis process. Hey, Donna, are you on with me?
Yes, I am.
And that's good. Now, the stuff that I just talked about, you were like really, really aware of that. When we first started, you wanted the results of the hypnosis, but you really fought against the process, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Very much.
The first time that we tried hypnosis, you were really, really resistant to it.
Oh, yes. I was determined that it wasn't going to work because I didn't want you. I was thinking that you was going to get in my head and pull stuff out that I didn't want pulled out, that I've repressed, just hit my past.
So after the first couple of times when you realized that you're basically in control of the hypnosis, you found out that you're really hypnotizable, and it went really well. I mean, you've had a lot of good results off of hypnosis so far, haven't you?
Oh, yes. It was after the third session I had with you that I finally gave into it and thought, well, I have nothing to lose, because I was was aware of everything for the first two, even though I fought it. So when I gave in on the third session, I was still aware of everything, even after it was over, the session was over. And it was amazing.
Primarily, we're going to talk about your trip to the dentist and your guitar playing. But if it's okay, can we talk about the weight loss just a little bit? Like I just find that's interesting. You'd had an injury from skiing, and you couldn't have very much physical activity for a while, and you put on a little bit of weight. That happens to us, especially as we get older. And as we get older, if you do that, it makes it kind of hard to get rid of it. So that was really one of the first things that you wanted, was for me to hypnotize you for weight loss, wasn't it?
Oh, exactly, because I was having problems. It was knee surgeries that I had, and so it was actually very hard to do anything physical anyway, and being overweight just added to the burden. And you don't have to tell me how much you weigh and how much you did weigh. Good.
But about how much did you lose?
At right now, 32 pounds I've lost.
And that's over how long?
That was over a year and a half, maybe 2 years at the most. And it's not necessarily 32 pounds I've lost. It's 32 pounds I've kept off, which is the difference between my past of trying to lose weight, where I'd put it on, then I would lose, then I would put it on. And admittedly, at the beginning, I would put it back on because I would quit listening to my MP3 player with the hypnotherapy in it. And I would go back to my old habit. And then I realized what I was doing for the first 6 months. So the last year, I've completely dedicated, and I've kept it. I'm still losing weight, actually. Every week, I'm losing weight now.
Well, that's really the difference between a lifestyle change and just taking a diet. Diets don't tend to work. Now,
yes, the diet was not working.
What I really wanted to talk about today, and one of the things that I find the most fascinating, is you had a fear of a dentist, and you just wanted me to do some relaxation stuff just to make it easier for you to go to the dentist. And you wound up in quite a serious situation, and with no preparation, you just used the hypnosis for the relaxation to have a tooth pulled without any pain medication at all.
Well, normally they would give me a shot to numb my mouth, and then they would give me pain medication along with gas. Or sometimes they would have to knock me out because it tends to wear off on me because of my nervousness. I burn it off quickly. And, I just terrified the dentist.
Well, and you went to see a dentist because you had a cap, and the cap had chipped, and they didn't realize it, but some decay had happened under that. And you'd gone to a specialist to have the cap removed, have a root canal, and then have the cap replaced. But when they went to pull the cap off, it actually sheared your tooth off under the gum line. Then you had to go back to your regular dentist and have him extract the tooth during the same day. And because of the amount of pain medication that you had already had at the specialist, they couldn't give you anything else, and you had the extraction just on hypnosis, didn't you?
Right. He gave me, like I said, it's not so much the pain as the numbing of the mouth is what he did, because I refused the other stuff that they normally give you because I was so deep into my hypnosis at that point. I didn't need it. So 3 hours later, I had to go back to my dentist, and I had to wait. So it was 3 hours before he was able to start, and he offered me some gas or some pain medicine because he knew my history. And I refused it, and he just told him to give me 5 minutes alone. And I just put my headphones on and started my tape up, and 5 minutes later he came in, and I was so far under, I just gave him the thumbs up to get started.
You really just went through the entire tooth extraction with nothing at all.
With nothing. Nothing. And the only problem was, 15 minutes into it, he was asking me if I needed gas or anything. Because, like I said, this is my dentist for 20 years, so he knew my history. And I finally had to tell him to put my finger to my lips best I could and to hush. No, don't disturb me. I held up my phone to show him, leave me alone. I'm under hypnosis. Stop offering me anything.
We're going to take a break here in just a moment.
Within 4 hours.
When you come back, would you like to talk about hypnosis to help you learn to play the guitar?
Oh, yes, that's exciting.
And that happened pretty quickly to you, didn't it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All righty. Well, you're listening to Healing with Hypnosis, and this is David Welch from Knoxville Family Hypnosis. And you're listening to Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760. This is David Wells with Healing with Hypnosis from Knoxville Family Hypnosis. You're listening to Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760. I have a guest with me today, and that would be my wife, and she's going to talk a little bit about some of her experiences with hypnosis. Now, Donna, you decided that you were going to learn to play the guitar. And how is that going for you?
Now it's going great. Absolutely no struggle whatsoever, and I'm coming from a background of no experience whatsoever on the guitar. None.
But how did hypnosis help you with playing the guitar?
I was struggling. It was on my bucket list, and I was struggling for about 6 months. Couldn't understand anything. I tried to take lessons, the chords, nothing. I just couldn't understand it. And then I had time to start listening to every night for 3 weeks. I was listening to my Hypnosis MP3 player that I had, and it just I noticed every day I was progressing to where I started understanding music, understand what I was trying to do with this guitar, chords, how it sounds, and literally at the end of 3 weeks, I turned on the radio, and I could actually hear the music that I wanted to hear. I heard the guitar. I wasn't hearing the voices anymore. I was hearing the strumming patterns, the beats, the strings when they changed over. If it was, the guitar versus the other instruments that were in there, that was a big improvement for me. Was I could finally hear what I was looking for in music, to where I could teach myself how to play again.
And you don't talk about it very much anymore, but at the same time, you actually learned to play guitar and violin at the same time.
Yes, I did. Yes, and I can play and. I can play the violin, too. I just don't play it as much because it's so much easier to carry the guitar around with me outside and other places versus carrying the violin with me. I can only really do that at home. So I was learning both instruments at the same time, yes, which I've never touched before.
So hypnosis actually helped you internally understand music?
Yes. I've always struggled with it. I used to try to play the piano, but the notes would jumble around on me, so I would have to memorize a piece. And with the guitar, I don't have to do that. I mean, I say, okay, E minor chord, C chord, this many beats, and this is the strumming pattern, and I can play it now. And yes, the violin and the guitar it just opened a whole new world for me using hypnosis.
And they told you that you went from like a beginner that was a struggling beginner to an advanced intermediate player in just an incredibly short amount of time, didn't you?
Oh, yes, in a short amount of time. I guess from listening to my tapes within 6 months, I could anything, any piece in front of me, I can play it now. I just got to hear it. I got to find it, on the internet, hear it, listen to it, and then I can play it by looking at the chords, just knowing the chords and strumming pattern and the beat, and that's it.
Well, that's pretty good from somebody that had a hard time understanding music.
Yes, all my life. And I was in choir, and I struggled with the piano. And like I said, I used to have to memorize a piece because the notes would jumble around on me for some reason, and I couldn't always find my place. And I can now. I mean, with the guitar, I can. In the violin, I can now. And I never knew. I had doubt in myself. I never knew I had that I was going to be able to do that. And it was because of hypnosis that allowed me to. It opened my mind for me.
Well, and because it's just available to you all the time, you've used hypnosis for quite a lot of stuff.
Yes, I have. Thank you very much. I have.
What do you think about hypnosis in general?
Oh, I think it's great. It helps me on so many different levels. I do have chronic pain from being an active person, many injuries. And so, when storms roll in or my shoulder tweaks, and I use my hypnosis to control the pain because I absolutely do not like pain pills whatsoever. And I don't like the feeling it gives me. But I do like the feeling that the hypnosis gives me. Drug-free.
Well, it's a lot easier once you realize that you're in control during that's what people have the hardest time understanding is you're really controlling your own hypnosis, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Yes, I use it every day. Get stressed out, the situation with my family. So, and I get stressed out with worry, and so I'll use my hypnosis just to calm down, rethink, and pull myself together. Where I've always had problems doing that in the past. My family.
I should have asked you this before, and you can choose not to talk about this if you'd like to. Do you want to talk about using hypnosis with your mom a little bit?
Well, at the beginning, I was able to use hypnosis, let my mother use hypnosis to calm her down. She'd have nightmares and strike out, and because she was going through, she's got leukemia, and she's had a stroke since. But when she was going through her treatment, she'd strike out with nightmares and hit people. So I would go in there, and I would just put her headphones on, and I would start the MP3 player, and she would talk to you. Okay, all right, I'll do what you want. And then she'll start doing her breathing pattern, and calm down and went right back to sleep. But that was one of the problems that they were having here, was the nightmares she was having every night and punching people. And it calmed her down, absolutely calmed her down.
That helped her out quite a bit then, too, huh?
Oh, yes. I would just, get behind her, not in front of her, because she literally was punching. Yeah. And just flip the headphones on and get it started, and within a minute, she was talking, and then she was back to sleep again.
And it's
what it was.
Especially in the case like what you're doing right now, being a caregiver, one of the primary caregivers, that's a lot of stress. Is the hypnosis, the relaxation, helping get rid of any of that too? Yes, and I catch myself, like my sister, I'm here, she's my partner in this, and, she lives here with my mom. My mom lives here with her, but I have my shifts, and I go check on her, but the stress builds up throughout the day. Because my mother changes, and it's hard for me to understand the person she's changing into because of all this. And I have to step back. When I find myself being snappy, I have to step back. I walk out, I come in my room, I do my hypnosis, I calm down. And it calms me down, gets me straight again. And I go back in with a smile. But yes, it's very stressful it just builds up. Yeah. To see the person that raised you going through this right now. What all of you use? I was just sitting here trying to think. What all of you used hypnosis for? The dentist, guitar, just general. Broke my ankle. I broke my ankle. Couldn't see the doctor for 3 days. Because it was Saturday, and I couldn't go until Tuesday. And I don't like pain pills, so I had to use hypnosis for 3 days before I got to see the doctor with a broken ankle. And then I went to the doctor and still under hypnosis, and he gave me pain pills, and I had to get my ankle set. And said I had to be on it for 7 days, use them for 7 days until the pain started, and then get off of them. I used them for 3 days, and I only did it for every 6 hours, although every 3 hours I needed it. But I used, instead of taking another pill, like it said, I would just use my hypnosis for the pain. And then within 3 days, I was not needing the pain pills anymore. It's kind of nifty when you find out that you control your own comfort level, isn't it? Well, yes. I had to go deeper into hypnosis for the pain, of course, but it works. And you end up being one of the people that are really susceptible to hypnosis. It works really well with you. Yeah, as hard-headed as I was, and as much as I fought it, yes, I was very much so. When we started, you didn't like the idea of that at all, did you? Absolutely not. I did not want my husband to make me into a chicken at will. I did not. I didn't want just to me messing with my head, because I don't like people controlling me. I like controlling myself. I don't like thoughts of other people. And you are my husband of all these years, but you are. I still didn't want you in my head, thinking that he's going to pull stuff out that I might not want to share from my past. Because I had tragedy as a child, and I just didn't want to share it. And that wasn't the case at all. Absolutely not. And I was so glad that I finally gave into it. That's the thing, that you're in control, and you guide your own hypnosis. People think that somehow or the other, like it's like a lie detector or a truth serum or something. In hypnosis, you can choose to answer or not answer. You could even lie to me if you really wanted to. Well, there's also things that come up that completely unexpected while we were in a session. Things just in my mind, things I remember that I had for no reason whatsoever would just pop up. It's not like you asked me anything. It's just would just pop up in my head, just old memories that I had completely forgotten, and then painful memories, and then they would just wash away. Because I was using the scuba, because I'm a scuba diver also. That's what I would
go under as a scuba diver. That's my relaxing.
Thinking about
that I
scuba
used to
diving?
use. Yes, and it would just wash away with the water, with the tide.
Well, we're almost done. If you've got a couple of seconds left, what would you want to tell other people in just a few seconds about hypnosis?
Give it a shot. Give it a try. I fought it, and I was an idiot for doing that because it has helped me in so many different ways. Unbelievable. Just people give it a shot. Ridiculous not to. I don't know what else to say. It works great. And I'm in complete control, too, of my own hypnotherapy now. So I don't do sessions anymore because I have my listening tapes and I do my own. He taught me how to do it, and he'll teach you how to do it also. That's part of it.
Well, I'm glad it worked out for you. This has been Healing with Hypnosis. Great. I'm David Welch from Knoxville Family Hypnosis, and this is Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760.